And we're recording. Welcome back to Thrasher's Paradise, everyone. I'm the Thrash man himself, the career Colin Sterling, and today we have a very special guest all the way from Edmonton. This is Clay from the band Black Mastiff.
Hello.
How are you doing today, Clay?
I'm good. How are you doing?
Doing great. Now, you guys are releasing an album very soon.
Yeah, we do have a new record finally coming out.
Can you tell us a bit about the album?
I can tell you that it took us a lot longer than we would have liked to between records. We worked really hard on it. We had a lot. We're really proud of it. Bob and I produced the record this time ourselves, and are really happy with the results.
Excellent. Now, what makes this album different compared to the others?
I think it's a little bit more eclectic sounding, a little bit more diverse in the songwriting, and trying to step into some new territory. Oh, hello?
There we go.
Back again.
They're back again.
I'm not sure.
As you were.
I'm not sure where you lost me, but
I have Wi-Fi here and there in the house.
No, just what I was saying. I don't know how much of that you got, but now I don't even remember what the question was.
What makes this different from the other albums?
Oh, it's just it's a lot more diverse. You know, we're exploring some new things and trying, just stepping outside of our comfort zone a little more. You know, and also we just made the record that we really wanted to make. Not like we don't do that all the time, but it was a little bit more. We had no perimeters this time around. You know, there was no something. We weren't going, oh, that sounds too much like this, or that's too much this style, or you know, we were just doing whatever we wanted.
Now, what makes your band very unique is that you do have that old school rock metal sound like Deep Purple. What really made you guys want to sound like
that? I know that. I mean, there was no like effort that we were. You know, we didn't go in saying, "Oh, I want to sound like a '70s rock band." Bob and I, and I mean, even Alan, both, you know, had a love for like Thin Lizzy and Sabbath and a lot of '70s rock bands, but a lot of other things too. So I'm not sure. Honestly, we didn't really know what the band was going to sound like. I thought the band would sound way different. I thought, you know, before we started jamming, I had a different idea for things, and it just kind of, you know, found where what works, I guess, or what comes natural to us.
Exactly. So you guys have been around for a while now. You are releasing, I believe, if my calculations are correct, your third album.
It's our third full length, and we have we had 2 EPs as well. One was released on vinyl originally. It was our first release, but it's been out of print forever.
Oh, so out of all 5, what can you say that was different from each writing process for all 5?
Between all 5, I mean, in the first EP is just kind of like us getting together and just like, you know, it's the first songs we're writing together. It's more, you know, I'm kind of bringing 4 songs and Bob's bringing 4 songs, and we're not collaborating as much on them at that point. You know, we're just kind of learning each other's tunes, and you know, that was a 5-song release. So that's just kind of like the introduction to the band, even for our own sake of how things were developing. You know, it was literally the first work that we had done together, and kind of sounds like that. And Pyramids, which is our second album, or our first full length release. I think that represents like a really good time in most bands, you know, when you're hitting your stride and everything is so fresh, and it's just like, you know, ideas are coming, and we're learning to work together as a band now. And you know, Bob and I are now, you know, writing together more often than just bringing in separate songs or ideas. And starting to jam on songs and stuff like that. There was no pressure for that record at all, so I think it was really is similar to this one in many ways, where we were just like didn't at that point we hadn't really hammered it. We didn't really have an audience, so there was no one else that we were really thinking about, and then in between Pyramids and the next record, we kind of found our audience being like playing with often playing with bands that were like way heavier than us, and we didn't really know that we were going to find a home in the metal community, but that is where we landed, and I think on the last record, I just think from all the the bands that we were playing with and the scene that we were immersed in, and desert, the desert rock, and we went and recorded that in Palm Springs with John Garcia from Caius, co-produced the record with us, and he sang on a couple tracks, and that on that record, I think for sure it wasn't a thing that we wanted to do or we thought about doing, but there's no doubt that the influence of John and going to record in the desert, whether it be just going back and digging back into all our old Caius records, things that we hadn't listened to in a while, and pulling them out again and revisiting them after being in this band, it definitely had an influence on the writing on that record. And again, we were also though writing, I think, as a group, jamming on lots of ideas. And then right before that record came out, actually not too long before, Alan, our drummer, got an opportunity in Vancouver that he just couldn't resist. Hello?
Yeah, I'm so sorry about that. Someone tried
No, that's
calling
all right. He got an offer that he couldn't resist to go open a drum shop in Vancouver and basically run it as his shop. And that's, what he's very good at. And he's worked in music retail for a while in drum stores and whatnot. So he did that, and we decided that we were going to we really wanted to keep we didn't want to stop playing with this lineup or try to find another guy. I've been playing with Alan at that point already for, probably maybe even 10 years already at that point. I'm not sure, 8 or 9 years anyways. And so we were, and the three of us get along very well, and there's just a certain chemistry that we didn't really want to mess with. So we just decided to work the long distance relationship. And so writing of this record, it wasn't too hard at first when we were just touring the last record. As long as we all did our homework, we'd get together, rehearse, and go out and play shows, and that's no problem. But as far as the way that we wrote up to this point, it was a lot more jam oriented. Myself, if I had new songs, I quite often would go to Alan first. Me and him would even work on them, and work on the structures and do that stuff together, and vice versa. So we had to basically it wasn't easy. We had to re-look at how we write songs, I guess, and it took a bit of trial and error. We even had we asked a couple different drummers to just sit in and try to write some songs with us, and but it's not very easy to offer a guy direction who's just totally doing you a favor and not going to get anything out of it, really. You don't want to tell a guy who you're going, hey, can you do us this favor? Can you come jam with us so we can try to work on some of this new material? But yeah, you're not going to get to play it or tour or do any of the awesome stuff. So we found that just kind of awkward. And then one practice, Bob, who drums a little bit, sat down at the kit, and we were just jamming that way. And, got an idea, pulled out an old A-track, started recording. Me and him would jam with him sitting in on the drums. We would record a track, then we'd go back and he'd throw down a guitar part, and we'd come up with a really loose demo, like a really, at least a rough idea, and then we'd get that to Alan. And this was kind of the start of being productive again. Although it took a while to get to a point where, about a year ago, maybe even less, about 8 months ago, right in the last, 8 months before the record, before we recorded it, we really had a breakthrough with kind of what was working for us. And that was no different than before, really. Me and Bob bringing in ideas, arranging them together, working on them together. But then he was throwing down, like I said, we would record a drum track with him, and then we would send the song to Alan. We'd send it 3 ways. We'd send it with just a rough version with Bob playing drums. And then we would send a version with me and Bob playing the song to a click track with no drums. And then, I think we'd do that. And then Alan would learn a drum. He would check out the song, hear kind of what we had in mind. Then work out his own drum part, send it back to us, his drums. And then Bob and I would build a demo on that version of the drums. And this is not something that we had done before, but all the demoing, going back and forth and getting to really step away and listen to the songs more than we ever have, I think really was beneficial. It really allowed us to really work on these tunes, man.
Awesome. Wow. That
was a long-winded answer. Sorry.
It's all good. I love the answer. Like, it was like, wow.
We had to be very, we had to be pretty dedicated, because I don't know if you play in a band or not, but one of the best things about playing music and playing in a band is just going to practice with everybody and having, that weekly practice where you get to release and you get to jam and have the loud music and the drums. So, trying to stay focused when it's just kind of all like not as fun as it used to be. I mean, it is fun. It was fun in different ways, but we weren't getting that, cathartic release that you get from a regular band practice. We had to be more disciplined, I guess, with our work ethic. I don't like to call this work because it's so fun, but
I mean, hey, isn't your job supposed to be fun?
I would like to think so, yeah, but a bit of guilt comes with fun work, I guess.
Yeah. So, I'm sorry to ask, but how old are you?
I am 44.
Wow. So you are very much older than a lot of the younger local bands in your area. Do you find it kind of hard with the band's age to kind of fit in with these younger local bands?
No, I don't know. Like, no, I don't. We still, we have an audience, and especially out west, we've got, our shows always seem to have people come out, and a lot of younger people come out, but I also feel like playing rock and playing in the genre, it's just kind of a lot of the appeal, I think, to Alan and I especially, was we wanted a band that we just felt like we could just grow old in. It wouldn't matter, like there's no feeling that this is for the kids, or, I'm too old to do this, or I mean, it's pretty apparent when you look around in the rock and metal community. There's lots of old dudes still giving it. Nobody seems to give a shit. Like, it's not like the pop world, right? Or
yeah.
A little while ago, I was in my 30s, and I was like going, oh, am I getting too old? And I kept, I'd see all these bands that were just so awesome, like playing at the top of their game, who, were far older than I, and not necessarily the huge ones too, just, the grinders, the lifers.
Yeah.
So I don't know. We, like I said, I'm really out of touch with a lot of the local scene in Edmonton, but also, I've been playing in the involved in the music community here for 25 years, and grown up with a lot of other people that have done the same. So even, there's an underground music scene here in community that goes beyond the youth, I guess, too. Even though, we do have a lot of people in their 20s and stuff coming out to our shows. It doesn't seem like, I don't think we're seen as old losers or anything, but maybe we are. I don't know. We do make fun of ourselves a lot, so.
You're not truly living unless you make fun of yourself every now and then.
Yeah.
So as you said, you mentioned you've been part of the music industry for 25 years.
Yeah.
I'm just assuming here that this isn't your first band.
No.
What makes this band different from your previous acts?
Um, I spent 13 years playing in kind of like a really progressive punk band that was called Choke, and we had quite a successful run. But playing in Choke, I personally was, you know, we still play actually sometimes now and then. We played at the Montebello Rock Fest a few years back. Reunited for the first time to go out there and play that festival. But the big difference for me, I mean, it's huge difference. Like the music is entirely different. I'm more passionate about Black Mastiff. In Choke, there was like a job I did. I played bass. I had to find a bass line between two absolute shredder guitar players who were very busy, and it was kind of a guitar focused band. And it was like, the average song they would all be at breakneck speed with probably 15 different parts, 20 parts that don't repeat, and no, the furthest thing from groove, and I think that was even the big, when that was done, that's why I think we wanted to play in Black Mastiff. I just wanted to kind of do something not totally opposite, but just that was way more what I was interested in, and the songs that I was writing, and being a bigger part of creatively than just being a bass player.
Awesome. Now, I'm assuming you guys have done quite a bit of touring in the band's young career. Have you guys done a full Canadian tour yet?
Oh yeah.
Oh.
We've done it a couple times. Like, not actually, no, we haven't been out to Halifax. We haven't been out east, but on this upcoming tour will be like our third time out to Montreal. I mean, the first, maybe even our fourth. I think it'll be our fourth. But the first couple were in the first year of the band. We were going out to play at Canadian Music Week, and they were, at the time, we were just had nothing to offer, really, no reputation or no, we were just pleading for shows at that time. Not like I think we have an awesome reputation now or something, but we, after 10 years and a few records, we know someone, and not know someone, we know people, and it's easier to book, and things get easier for sure. But yeah, we've done it. I mean, this will be the first time in a long time that we've drove across the country.
Oh, wow.
The whole way, because we went out to play some festivals and did some other things, but the last couple times we just basically flew and then played Montreal, Toronto, Ottawa, and then went back home. So we definitely play in the West a lot more. We're all dudes that have careers, mortgages. It's the other thing about being 44. It's I've got 2 young kids. It's not easy, and it takes a lot of understanding from other people in your life, and they've got to kind of be committed with you, I guess.
Yeah. So after all of those years of touring, what is the most memorable moment or show you can tell us?
Oh, jeez. With Black Mastiff, for sure. Probably just the first. We did a Western trip with them with supporting Red Fang. This was probably
Okay.
4 or 5 years ago. And I think that was probably the first show we did with them, playing in Washington and playing in the U.S. with supporting this band that we really liked. And even at the time, not even at the time, Black Mastiff, like I said, was a thing that we didn't. It was just something we felt we could do as we got old. It didn't really matter what we accomplished or what we did. We just still had a lot of music to make and wanted to keep making it. So I guess to then be on the road again, doing substantial tours and playing to a full house opening for a band that you love, and kind of getting another kick at the can was a really nice moment, I know, for myself.
Great.
I'm sure there's one better that I'm going to think of as soon as I hang up the phone.
Then save it for the next time we interview. Save it for the next time.
Yeah. Okay.
Ooh. Where do you see the band in 5 years?
Oh, hopefully still grinding, man. I feel like this last few years was a huge hurdle, and I feel like having learned to work under this new system and do things this way, that I feel like I don't see why we would stop anytime soon. Because it's like I don't remember if it's in the Anvil movie, but it's the quote where he's just like, why would you stop doing something you love? Why would you quit doing something you love? It's just like, if there's someone there to listen, fuck, even if there's no one there to listen, I imagine we'll try to keep going.
Excellent. Now we're at a point of the interview where I stop the questioning and we play a little game. Is that cool?
Yeah.
Okay, the game's called Thrash or Trash. I'm going to say either a band, song, or album, and you just let me know if you like it, thrash. If you don't like it, trash.
Okay.
We're going to start very simple. We're going to do Black Sabbath's Paranoid album.
Thrash.
Trash. Deep Purple's Highway Star.
Thrash.
And then Pink Floyd.
Thrash.
Trash. And that's the game.
That's it? It's all thrash.
Yeah. Typically, it's usually all thrash unless I say something and they're like, trash. Yeah. Every now and then.
Gotcha.
Great. Well, we're now at the point where we ask one last question. It's a very important question. We call it the poser question.
Yeah. I hope
It's to ensure that we are talking to physical metalheads on the channel. Is that cool?
Yeah.
Okay, great. The question is simple. Who would win in a fight, Lemmy or God?
It's a trick question. Lemmy is God.
Yes! Congratulations, Clay. You got it right, and you add to the amazing list of other bands that got it right.
All right.
Well, Clay, thank you so much for coming on Thrasher's Paradise today. I really appreciate it. Everyone at home, please make sure to get their album October 17th.
October, I think, comes out October 15th. 15th?
October
18th? 18th. It's the 18th.
Okay. October 18th. Make sure to get.
We'll have them with us on the whole tour. We'll be selling them before that off stage.
Awesome. Where can we find the album?
Well, you can order it through the Grand Hand Bandcamp, and it'll be out at most of your independent record stores. Hopefully, all the streaming services, or you can order physical copies from us.
Excellent. And do you have a Facebook page that people can follow?
We do. It's I don't even know what it is. It's a Black Mastiff Facebook page, but not Black Mastiff Construction.
Oh.
We're not coming to fix your deck, man. Unless it's got something that only rock and roll can fix.
Excellent. Well, Clay, thank you so much for taking some time out of your day to come on for an interview. I really appreciate it.
Hey, thanks for having me.
No problem. We'll definitely have you on back. We'll have you back. We'll have you back on again soon.
Sounds good.
Great. Everyone at home, until next time, keep on thrashing.